inawezekana, inawezekana. Leo ni leo, leo ni leo. Wapigane wa mama, mkono juu, mkono juu. Leo ni leo, leo ni leo. Olanga mukamba n'okombe, olanga mukamba n'okombe. Ayayiwo n'okombe. Leo ni leo, n'okombe. Inawezekana, leo ni leo. Inawezekana, inawezekana, leo ni leo. Inawezekana, leo ni leo. Inawezekana, inawezekana, leo ni leo. Waanzilishi wa taifa letu ndio walisema azimio la umoja, tuwe pamoja kwa umoja, kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, the fifth president wa tano katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, tunasema Mungu, linda ndugu yetu vizuri, baba yetu, tuendelee mbele. Mukamba n'ukombe, olanga mukamba n'ukombe, n'ukombe, n'ukombe. Shikilia kidogo. Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Sasa kina mama mtakuwa upande mmoja na upande mwingine, baba atapita katikati yenu akikuja hapa kwa jukwaa. Si hapo ni sawa? Na mumeng'ara, jipigieni makofi jamani.
Ndio hiyo sasa. Inawezekana, leo ni leo. Inawezekana, inawezekana, leo ni leo. Inawezekana, inawezekana, leo ni leo. Inawezekana, inawezekana, leo ni leo. Waanzilishi wa taifa letu ndio walisema azimio la umoja, tuwe pamoja kwa umoja, kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, the fifth president wa tano katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, tunasema Mungu, linda ndugu yetu vizuri, baba yetu, tuendelee mbele. Mukamba n'ukombe, n'ukombe, n'ukombe. Kenya mpya inawezekana.
Kama unaamini inawezekana, peperusha kofia yako, peperusha kofia yako bila uoga. Leo ni leo.
Kenya mpya inawezekana.
Inawezekana. Kila mtu aseme leo ni leo. Inawezekana. 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 Leo ni leo. Itawezekana.
Asante DJ.
Kila mtu aseme pamoja.
Niombe tuanze kutoka juu na sasa sote tumkaribishe kinara wetu mpendwa, His Excellency Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo
Odinga.
Raila. Shikilia DJ. Asante. Kidogo selector. Hapa ni wamama peke yake wameruhusiwa kusimama mbele na kumkaribisha kinara wetu. Wanaume mtatuia radhi. Na sote sasa tumkaribishe kwa shangwe, vigelegele, kinara wetu mpendwa Raila Amolo.
Tunasema Kenya pia inawezekana. Inawezekana.
Akina mama vigelegele.
Lero ni lero.
Wapi waluya ndani ya nyumba? Leo ni leo. Asemaye naomba popote ulipo shika kofia mkononi. Shika kofia mkononi nikisema ODM nijibu tuko tayari. ODM. 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 Asante sana, tupate kuketi. Your Excellency, Prime Minister and African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development and Party Leader of the ODM Party, Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga. All protocols observed. May I, with all humility, request that for the official start of our function, in respect of our nation, that we all be upstanding for the national anthem, to be followed by the East African Community Anthem. And may I request that we all remove our caps from our heads. National Anthem. While we are standing, may I invite men of God, Sheikh Jumangao and Bishop Bosoti, to lead us in prayer. Karibu Sheikh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام. يا الله يا الرحمن يا الرحيم يا ملك القدوس يا سلام يا مؤمن يا مهيمن يا عزيز يا جبار يا متكبر يا حنان يا منان نسألك يا الله uletee Kenya baraka nyingi na amani nyingi wakati huu ambao ya Allah tuelekea kwa uchaguzi mkuu. Tukushukuru ya Allah kwa kuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya umemuongoza na ukamgusa pamoja na serikali yake, na wakaamua rais mwingine wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ni mzee wetu Raila Amolo Odinga. Twajua ya Allah haya ni mapenzi yako. Uhuru Kenyatta asingetamka haya bila mapenzi yako. Basi twakuomba ya Allah, Jamhuri yote ya Kenya iunge mkono endorsement hiyo ya juzi, na mwezi wa 8 ya Allah Raila Amolo Odinga ashinde kura nyingi zaidi na aunde serikali ya Kenya. Ya Allah ya Hananu ya Mannanu, twakuomba mbariki Rais Uhuru Kenyatta kwa uamuzi huu, baraza lake la mawaziri, baraza la magavana, baraza la senators, women reps na kila kiongozi ya Allah. Ya Allah tunakuomba, grupu ni mbili ya Allah. Kuna grupu hii ya Raila Amolo Odinga ambayo ni corruption free, haina ufisadi. Kuna grupu nyingine ya Allah ni wafisadi. Na wao wamesema kwenye Qur'ani, inna Allaha la yuhibbul mufsidina, Mwenyezi Mungu hapendi wafisadi. Basi twakuomba ya Allah, wale wafisadi usiwape mamlaka. Twakuomba ya Allah, wale mafisadi usiwape mamlaka. Twakuomba ya Allah, ya Hananu ya Mannanu ya Jabbaru, anta ala kulli shay'in qadir. Nas'aluka ya Allah, wale mafisadi usiwape uongozi. Uongozi mpatie baba yetu, mzee wetu Raila Amolo Odinga. Bariki jeshi la nchi kule Somalia, walinde ndugu zetu Somalia na yule adui Al-Shababu. Bariki jeshi la nchi, polisi na kila kiongozi, bariki ya Allah. Twakuomba ya Allah kwa kutukufu, basi bariki na utukubalie. Rehema na amani zimshikie mtume wetu Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
As we continue praying, I want to read a verse, then I pray. The Bible says, now when the attendant or the servant of the man of God had risen early and gone out, behold, an army with horses and chariots was circling the city. And his servant said to him, alas, my master, what shall we do? So he answered, do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Then Elisha prayed and said, O Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, the Father and the Lord of our Savior Jesus Christ, today we pray that God, thank you for giving us life, and thank you for bringing us to this auditorium. It is not by mighty, it is not by power, but by your Spirit, the Bible says. Today, Lord, I pray for this meeting of the National Governing Council
of the Orange Democratic Party of Kenya, led by His Excellency Honorable Raila Odinga, and them that are under him helping in this work. Whatever that shall be discussed and deliberated today, I pray that you be the leader. And I know this is an electioneering year when we as Kenyans are looking for the person who is going to lead Kenya in the next government. And we are convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that you from heaven has anointed this man, Raila Amolo Odinga. And them that are around him are more than them that are in the other side. We pray, Father God, that you give us peace even in this campaign period, that you give us good health even in this campaign period, especially for our presidential candidate. We pray for the meeting today, we pray for the meeting tomorrow, we pray for the meeting on Sunday, that you will be seen, and at the end of the day we will say, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. We bless you and we thank you, for we pray this trusting and believing in Jesus Christ our Lord, and God's people say amen. Thank you.
Niombe tuketi. Napo mkabidhi nafasi hii katibu wetu mpendwa wakili Edwin Sifuna. Niombe makofi mazuri ya Secretary General wetu.
Your Excellency, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, members of the incoming ruling party, nataka munipeperushie bendera yenu, kofia ya ODM. Tukisema ODM tuseme tuko tayari. ODM! ODM! I want you people to look more lively. This is the last NGC of ODM as an opposition party. Can I see the kofia? ODM, ODM. Your Excellency, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome members of the National Governing Council to this meeting, and it is my statutory duty to read the notice to convene this meeting. In accordance with Article 7.42, as read together with Article 7.43 of the Orange Democratic Movement Party Constitution, and considering the obligations of the Office of the Secretary General as set out under Article 6.35 of the ODM Constitution, notice is hereby given to formally convene a meeting of the National Governing Council on this Friday, 25th February 2022 at Bomas of Kenya in the county of Nairobi. So the agenda of this meeting is as follows. Number 1 is consideration and confirmation of minutes of the National Governing Council meeting held on 1st March 2019. A discussion of the matters arising from those minutes. Then there will be a report by my office, and then resolutions to adopt that report. There will be a presentation of the report on the proposed amendments to the party constitution and election and nomination rules. And a question will be put to the Governing Council to adopt those resolutions as were passed by the National Executive Committee yesterday. There will be a report on elections of national officials and the grassroots officials. Then there will be the agenda of this party, the ODM party, formally joining the Azimio coalition, and then the question of nomination of a presidential candidate for purposes of the election of August 2022. Your Excellency, that is the agenda of a meeting, and at this particular point in time, I want to very quickly invite the Chairperson of ODM, the National Chairperson of ODM, Honorable John Madi, to take us through the next agenda, which is to formally welcome the delegates and adoption of the agenda. Thank you very much. ODM. Karibu Chairman.
Thank you, SG. Your Excellency, the incoming President of the Republic of Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga. Your Excellency, the Deputy Party Leader and also the Governor for Kakamega County, Wycliffe Oparanya, other members of the National Executive Committee led by the Secretary General, members of the National Governing Council, ODM, ODM. Our slogan is tuko tayari. It is not chungwa moja, it is not mbele pamoja or any other thing. It is tuko tayari. ODM, Azimio. Asanteni sana. Now, mine is very brief. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to our National Governing Council for 2022. I want to remind you, honorable delegates, that this party is a functioning party, that this is the only party in this country which has all its organs functioning. At the top, we have the National Delegates Conference, and we have held the National Delegates Conference regularly and within the stipulated times in our Constitution. We have the National Governing Council, and I've just mentioned that we last held our National Governing Council in Karen on 1st of March 2019. And we have the next organ is NEC. We have the next organ is Central Committee or Central Management Committee. We also have, then we have our county coordinating committees, branch committees, and as up to the polling station, and they are all functioning. So I want to thank all members, and most particularly the delegates, those who make ODM vibrant at the grassroots. Karibuni sana. I am not making a speech. I want to just take this opportunity now to introduce various delegates so that we know who are in the room. Number one, I will start with the members of the National Executive Committee of the party. If you are here, and I know you are, kindly be upstanding, wave to the delegation, to the conference. Thank you very much. Can we clap for them? I want to move to Parliament. And when I talk of Parliament, it is Parliament, not National Assembly or Senate. Members of Parliament include members of the National Elections Board, very important organ in the party, members, our majority. I want to introduce the members of our standing committees. We have various standing committees. Standing committees, karibu sana 001, one of our two deputy party leaders is in the house. Standing committees, the standing committees, disciplinary, legal, all the standing committees. I can see all of you are in the house. Clap for them again. Asanteni sana. So, thank you very much. Mine was just to welcome you to Bomas of Kenya and to this National Governing Council. Asanteni sana, and I can see the enthusiasm, the happiness. All our faces are glowing because we are forming the government in a few months' time. Asanteni sana.
If we are together on page 1 of those minutes, the agenda was as set out on that page. And then the meeting was officially convened by the SG at 10:15. There were welcoming remarks by the National Chairperson on the Bombadi that spilled through to page 2 of those minutes. The agenda was adopted as proposed by Mr. Joseph Akaule, a delegate from West Pokot, and seconded by Stella Chepkurui from Kericho County. There was the address by the party leader, that is minute number 5 on page 2. The party leader recalled the change of circumstances from the last NGC in 2019, where the country had moved from flames to a peaceful environment. He also thanked members and supporters for their unwavering support for the BBI process that was ongoing at the moment. So we go to the next page, on page 2, meeting number 6. The previous meetings of a meeting on 23rd February were read to the delegates and proposed as true record by Peter Ngeno from Kericho County and seconded by Safia Galgalo, a delegate from Isiolo who sadly has subsequently left us. The report of AST was on several issues: on management of the Building Bridges Initiative, international assignment for the party leader, the establishment of Elections and Nominations Task Force. We cross over to page 4. There was a report on orientation of the new members of the National Executive Committee, the question of county leadership outreach, which is a role that you had charged my office with, strengthening of Grassroots Party, a report on the by-elections that had been held since February 2018, and then on page 5, there was the last report on relocation of the National Secretariat, where we were reporting to you that we were in the process of finalizing relocation from the then headquarters of the party. Then minute number 8, there was presentation of a report of a task force on auditing the party's electoral system. You will remember that this was the task force headed by Catherine Muma, now the chair of the board, and we presented the key findings which spill from page 5 all the way to page 6. So the report covered all those matters. You can see on page 6 the question of, from page 5, the question of the key findings, including our party primaries, our dispute resolution mechanisms, the question of party lists, and that is on page 7. And then on page 8, Your Excellency, you can see from the top there that Senator Wako had proposed that the NGC members be allowed to send their views on the report to the National Secretariat for Incorporation, and in my subsequent report, you will see that those contributions were considered. Then there was a report on disciplinary matters. Number 1, regarding the Member of Parliament for Malindi constituency. Then on page 9, the matter regarding Honorable Suleiman Dori, now deceased. Then on to page 10, the resolutions on the disciplinary committee report, which was adopted by the National Governing Council. Page 10 and 11 capture some of the remarks. You can see the remarks from the delegation from Kilifi County, since the report on the disciplinary process touched on one of their members. And then minute number 10, there were resolutions of the National Governing Council. Number 1, to adopt the report of the task force. Then on the last page, Your Excellency, the recommendations by NEC on the disciplinary cases were also adopted with certain amendments by the members of the National Governing Council. So the resolutions were unanimously adopted by members as proposed by Ali Waziri Abubakar, who again, Your Excellency, sadly left us, a delegate from Webuye, and seconded by Honorable Mercy Chebeni, our nominated senator from Bungoma. There being no other business, the meeting came to an end at 3:47 p.m. Now, Your Excellency, if you look at your program, I am supposed to next give you a report on all these matters, but with utmost humility, Your Excellency, I wanted to request that at this particular juncture, we all be upstanding to observe a minute of silence for all those members who were with us in the last NGC, but have since departed. So we will take off our kofias, and please, all of you who are able to stand, please let us be upstanding for a minute to observe a minute of silence. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana, you may be seated. Quickly, Your Excellency, to the next agenda, and I'm going to run through it very quickly. I have another statutory duty of giving a report to the National Governing Council, and it will cover the period between our last NGC and this morning. Sorry, Your Excellency, I was getting ahead of myself. I'm being reminded, Chairman, we need to confirm those minutes to be a true record of the last NGC and to adopt them. So, Chairman.
I didn't know Sifuna was taller than me. Honorable members, I think what we are going to do is just to have two of us to propose, one to propose and the other to second the minutes for discussion, adoption of the minutes for discussion. I can see, I saw Kaluma's hand first. Was that Kaluma, or if it's Kaluma, who is, I want a lady from this side, Senator Soruwe. So you just introduce yourself and tell us what you want to do.
I'm George Peter Opondo Kaluma, Member of Parliament for Homa Bay Town and a member of the National Governing Council of the Orange Democratic Movement. I propose the minutes of the ODM National Governing Council meeting held on 1st March 2019 at Cooperative University, Karen, Nairobi, City County, for deliberation and adoption by the members of the National Governing Council here present. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Senator, now that Kaluma has said so much, I think you will just introduce yourself and say you second. Give it to Mr.
Thank you very much. I'm Senator Dr. Gertrude Musuruve Inima, and a member of the National Governing Council and a solid member of ODM party. I second.
Thank you very much. So the minutes have been proposed and seconded. Now, can we proceed to matters arising? Matters arising, and I will take the shortest time possible, but that does not mean I'm going to gag anyone. So we will go page by page. I hope most members, if not all, have the minutes. Okay, let's vote on it. The adoption. It's a matter of procedure. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? And those of contrary opinion to say nay? The ayes have it. So it's adopted for discussion. Page 1. We are on matters arising and we will go very fast. Page 1, I don't think there is anything there. Page 2, addressed by the party leader is a substantive item on page 2. We move to page 3, which was basically the report of the Secretary General, which is coming. Another report is coming shortly after this. Page 4. Page 4, I don't see anything to attract attention of members. Page 5. Page 6. Of course, there will be a report on party primary elections and dispute resolutions and such like. Party list on page 7, I think also Catherine Moma will cover that on how it will be done this time. We go to page 8, a report on disciplinary matters, because there is the issue of Aisha Juma there. The Suleiman Deori is no longer with us. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. And finally, page 12. So I take it that members are okay with the minutes. At this juncture, I want to call upon the Secretary General now to take us through his report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and Your Excellency and the delegates. I want to very quickly run through the report of my office, which covers the period from March 2019 through to February 2022. During this period, the party undertook and accomplished a number of programs and activities. These include, but are not limited to, party reorganization, revitalization, managing the BBI, staff target setting and identification, acquisition and relocation to new physical facilities for the National Secretariat. So number one, Your Excellency, on grassroots party strengthening, in the last NGC, it was resolved that the party should embark on strengthening branches and filling vacancies occasioned by natural attrition, defections and other causes. It is my pleasure to report to this Council that in pursuit of this objective, the National Office and Secretariat have established the following. Number one, we now have a monthly disbursement scheme to county coordinating committees to cater for office rent and related overhead expenses. Currently, Your Excellency, 43 out of the 47 counties receive the monthly transfers. The remaining 4 will be enjoined in the program as soon as their internal challenges are resolved, and we're working with the chair of the board to resolve the question of the leadership. So, Your Excellency, the Orange Democratic Movement now has offices at the county level in 43 of the 47 counties, fully supported by the National Office. Number 2, Your Excellency, on strengthening coordination and communication with the branch offices, the Council of County Chairs, an initiative of chairpersons of the county coordinating committees, has become a vital linkage between the National Office and the regions. With the assistance of the National Secretariat, this body has held bi-monthly meetings to share experiences across regions and engage the various organs of the party for important input. The strong coordination and positive relationship between the county offices and the National Secretariat has been exhibited in, among others, nomination of the chair, Migori County Coordinating Committee, to observe national elections in the Republic of South Africa, and the appointment of 2 county chairpersons, namely Richard Tyro and Emily Awita of Taita Taveta and Siaya counties respectively, as members of the reconstituted National Elections Board. It is in recognition of the foregoing and need to further recognize the vital link between the national and county offices that today the National Executive Committee will be proposing to you, the Governing Council, to recommend to the National Delegates Convention to amend the ODM party constitution to create the Council of County Chairs as an organ of the party. Your Excellency, with NEB supervision, there has also been harmonization of the party leadership throughout the country, and the chair of the NEB will give her report on that. We hope to conduct full grassroots party elections sometime next year, and this is a matter that the NEC will also be putting before this council this morning. Your Excellency, we all know about the Building Bridges initiative. I want to take this opportunity to thank members of ODM at all levels, from the county leadership to our MCAs, to the county coordinating chairs and the branch chairs, for supporting that initiative. Of course, Your Excellency, it was not without challenges, the most visible being the political onslaught led by our detractors and supported by a motley of civil society activists. This led to a court challenge that culminated in the declaration of the initiative as unconstitutional. Of course, the appeal is currently awaiting determination by the Supreme Court of Kenya, but Your Excellency, we are behind you 100% in the vision that you had to achieve under the BBI. Next, Your Excellency, I want to report on the reconstitution of the National Elections Board. The NGC at its last sitting received and adopted in its entirety the report tabled by the task force led by Madam Catherine Muma. Consequent thereto, the NEC organized a 3-day retreat in Nakuru to deliberate on the implementation of that report. I also want to report that, in fact, members of the National Governing Council, we were able to receive input from across the country on what needed to be done. In August of 2020, a new National Elections Board was appointed and mandated to implement the reforms in the report. The members of the board are Ms. Catherine Muma, Honorable Richard Tairo, Honorable Abdullahi Dirie, who is the Secretary, Sintei Nchoe from Narok, and Emilia Wita from Siaya. Number 5, besides the National Elections Board, the party also appointed a new disciplinary committee whose membership is here present with us, comprising Honorable Professor Ben Sihanya, Dr. Florence Omosa, Honorable Mumi Ngaru, and Ms. Seth Kakusie. I think we've left out my friend Ramadan on this list, and I think he's here with us today. Then, Your Excellency, number 6, following the recommendations of that task force, and consequent to the retreat of the NEC held in Nakuru in May 2019, a Secretariat Management Board was established to spearhead the development and management of the human resource and welfare issues in efforts to continue professionalizing the operations and transforming ODM from movement style to vanguard party mode of operation. This has been done from 3 strategic approaches. First, we seek to support and challenge. We are facilitating the process of dialogue and change and tracking process. When actions do not live up to the words, we will call out the lack of progress. Secondly, we are harnessing the momentum. We are looking for opportunities to identify and inculcate organization culture carriers, those who will embody and embed cultural change, creating multipliers so that the new culture fans out across the party. Thirdly, we have infused a system of and framework for communication and feedback. We are establishing structures to collect feedback and measure success, and by communicating the work across the party, we can encourage a more connected and consistent approach. Formal introduction and embedding of values and beliefs into people management is on our 2019 agenda via a 2-step approach. First is to integrate the values and beliefs into objective setting for performance management. And number 2, to map, integrate, and align the values and beliefs to key people practices, processes, and tools. Engagement with our ideology, values, and beliefs is measured through familiarity with the social democratic ideology, shared values and core beliefs, changes in the way we think and act, and through believing and understanding that living the values and beliefs will have a positive impact on reaching our ready to govern strategy. I want to give a report on the by-elections, Your Excellency. The period under review has been a difficult period for the party in electoral performance. Since March 2019, the party has participated in 6 parliamentary and 9 county assembly by-elections and performed as indicated. We participated in Ugenya constituency, Embakasi South, Kibra constituency, Msambweni, Matungu constituency, Bonchari constituency. Out of those, we won 2 and lost 4. So it was not a very good period for us. In the county assembly, Your Excellency, There was a by-election in Abakaile ward in Garissa, which we won. Loyangalani in Marsabit, which we won. Ganda, which we won. Nyacheki, which we won. Dabaso in Kilifi, which we won. Kisumu North, which we won. Mbale in Undanyi ward. Mbale Undanyi ward in Taita Taveta, which we lost. Kiamokoma ward in Kisii County, which we won. And Huruma ward in Uasin Gishu, which we lost. Your Excellency, permit me at this particular juncture first to salute all our generals, all our officials and members of parliament in these electoral areas for the support that you gave our party candidates during those by-elections. We owe you a great deal of gratitude for the effort in all these electoral areas despite of the result. Your Excellency, please, with your permission, allow me to give a special recognition to our brothers from the larger Gusii area. Watu ya Kisii mpo, led by your governor, Your Excellency Ongwae. The reason I am giving special recognition to them, Your Excellency, is that in Kisii region, we have not lost a single by-election. All of them have been won, including the latest one, the last one, our last born in Bonchari, which all of you who followed know was a very difficult fight. So on behalf of the National Executive Committee and the National Secretariat, thank you very much, Your Excellency Ongwae, and all the teams in Kisii for all the work you've done. Thank you very much, my sister Honorable Janet Ongera. We know the fights that we are into, and we hope that going forward. Wasimame, mzee anasema msimame mpigiwe makofi. Timu ya Kisii iko wapi? Na Mheshimiwa Oimeke yuko wapi? Sijamuona, lakini asanteni sana for the good work that you have done. Ako wapi? Oh, huyo ndio last born wetu anaitwa Pavel Oimeke, mbunge wa Bonchari. Thank you very much. Oh yes, I forgot Bobasi, which you also won. Thank you very much, Bobasi Church Award. Thank you, Your Excellency. Now, Professor Ongeri. Yes, I have recognized you, my senator. We worked with you very well in Bonchari, and thank you for the good work. So, Your Excellency, I want to very quickly go to some of the challenges that we have had during this particular period. Your Excellency, everybody knows that the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic affected our programs and activities adversely. The first casualty was our NGC meeting, which was due in March of 2020, the month the country was forced into a lockdown. Other party initiatives that suffered include the conduct of grassroots elections and activities at the National Secretariat, the activities of our leagues, the Women League, the Youth League, and the Disability League, as a number of, and also at the National Secretariat, because a number of our staff members were directly or indirectly affected by the pandemic. The second challenge, Your Excellency, was managing of the coalitions that the party was in then. Coalitions by their nature are very delicate. The NASA coalition established in March 2017 through a pre-election agreement was not an exception. The synergy and collective strength that the coalition brings went over time. These were replaced by wrangles and unreasonable demands upon your party, ODM. The NEC therefore resolved on July 28, 2021 to formally disengage ODM from the NASA coalition. As we inch towards new coalition and new coalition partners under the Azimio la Umoja, these lessons that we learned will prove vital. Number three, Your Excellency, we still face the challenge of underfunding as a party. Political parties are expected to maintain physical offices in at least half the counties, run programs, and fund election campaigns. These require major financial muscle. The Political Parties Act 2011 provides for registration, management, funding, and other matters to do with political parties. On funding, it specifically provides that not less than 0.3% of annual revenue shall be allocated to the political parties fund, and that 95% of that fund shall be used for political party administration, shared to qualified political parties based on their strength. In 2016, ODM filed a case in court seeking the orders of mandamus for the Treasury to be compelled to obey the law and allocate the correct amount. This is because since this law was passed, Your Excellency, Parliament and Treasury have never complied with the law. We also prayed that the National Treasury and Parliament be ordered to pay arrears accruing for ODM, which amounted at the time in 2016 to 5.3 billion Kenya shillings. In spite of the court judgment in our favor, the National Treasury has continued to violate this provision with impunity, thereby curtailing our capacity to fund our activities. We continue to dialogue with the government for a phased settlement, and during the appropriation for the financial year 2021-2022, the Budget and Appropriation Committee of the National Assembly undertook to factor in the law-mandated amount in the supplementary budget when it is prepared. At this particular juncture, Your Excellency, allow me to also recognize members of Parliament of ODM who have given very strong support to the party on the floor of the House and even with the engagements with Treasury, so that we are able to achieve this settlement. I want to recognize our chairman, Honorable Mbadi, who has been a very strong champion. I want to recognize Honorable Junet Mohammed. Is he here? Yes, thank you so much, Junet. I want to recognize Honorable Anthony Olwoch from the Legal Affairs Committee. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Honorable Olwoch was the one who was able to get us a speaker's ruling saying that this time round the Parliament must allocate some money towards settlement of the amount, which as we speak right now, yes, as we speak right now, stands at a whopping 8 billion Kenya shillings. But Your Excellency, as the SG, I am extremely encouraged because next year, you being our president and we being in charge of Treasury, I have no doubt that our 8 billion will come so that hii pesa iingie kujenga chama kule mashinani. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the ODM legal team, led by the chair of the Committee on Legal Affairs, Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, and of course our very able Senator for Siaya, Honorable James Orengo, and all the lawyers who worked on that particular case to ensure that the party is able to get what is due to it. Your Excellency, I want to conclude by saying that some of our governors, our deputy governors, a number of MPs and MCAs are still in arrears with regards to their contributions. And you have given us a directive as the National Secretariat not to be shy to ask about these resources. So I can see most of them are here. Your Excellency, I have established a desk at the back there and a safe. My team has a safe there. So if you know you are a member in arrears, we are willing and ready to receive your money at the back there. In conclusion, Your Excellency, because of the funding challenges, our work plan and subsequently our cash flow management has been a bit tricky, but I believe we will resolve this. In conclusion, the period has been eventful and full of promise, challenges notwithstanding. We must close ranks now as ODM and build a strong and united party that will truly be prepared to take over power in another 5 months. I thank you most gratefully and wish to end it there, Your Excellency. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG, and thank you very much, delegates, for listening to SG's report. I just want to ask us to adopt this, the resolutions of the SG, the report. The report of the SG. Proposer, I'm going to Beth Siengo. Then I come this side. I now want a man. Let's just go ahead. So I hope the mic is there. Then the next, the speaker here, I may not know your name, but yes. So just get another mic to him. Yes, go ahead, Beth.
My name is Beth Siengo, the ODM Women League President and a member of National Governing Council. I do here propose the adoption of the report of the SG. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mike should go there. Right there, yes.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Abdikay Rubo from Garissa County, the Dab constituency, ODM aspirants. I second.
Thank you very much. It's proposed and seconded. Will, as of a similar opinion, say aye. Those who are holding contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it, and the report of the SG is adopted. Honorable members, allow me at this juncture. Pardon? I am being told that the seconder is an observer. Is not a member of, is a special team of the county. Oh no. We have to have a member. I don't want to use the word genuine member. Are you a member of the NGC? Please, that's majority leader of Garissa County. And no, that is definitely a member of the NGC. You are also a member by invitation anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
My name is Honorable Muhammad Ali Sheikh, member of County Assembly, Abagaila Ward, and leader of Minority Party. Also the chairperson for Garissa County. I second.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Honorable Wanga, for pointing out that we want to do our things legally and procedurally. Now let's vote again. Those who are supporting that opinion say aye. Those who have a contrary opinion say nay. Now the ayes have it, and the report is adopted. Honorable members, allow me to move the meeting forward to where we are going to the legal committee. The legal committee chairperson is going to present to us a report on proposed amendments to our party constitution, election and nomination rules, and then we will adopt it. So, where is the chair of the legal committee? I can see, I think Tim has already delegated to Wakili. So Wakili, I know you are going to take 10 minutes like you did at the next meeting. 10 minutes, I hope.
Your Excellency, the party leader, the deputy party leaders, the chairperson, SG, members of the NGC, all protocol observed. My name is Frederick Orego. I'm the convener of the ODM Legal Committee drafting, the team that did the drafting.
Kuja huko mbele. You can adjust the mic the way I see.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd want to state that my chairperson of the legal committee, the Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, has requested me kindly to present this report on the process for the review and amendment of the Constitution and the nomination rules. Has requested me to make this presentation on his behalf. I introduced myself when I was down. My name is Frederick Orego. I'm a member of the ODM Legal Committee, and I convened the committee that drafted the proposed amendments to the Constitution and the party nomination and election rules. First of all, I would want to state that the legal committee was appointed sometime on the 25th of September 2020. This was in response to a recommendation that had been made by the task force that was appointed by the party leader after the 2017 general elections. One of the things that had been highlighted in the task force report was that there was need for the party to undertake a comprehensive review of its legal framework to underpin our electoral processes. So the first thing that we did as the committee after our appointment was to review our constitution, the one that was adopted by the NGC that held its meeting on the 31st of October 2016, together with our party nomination rules that were last adopted by the NGC here on the 5th of December 2014. After we did the review, we held a number of stakeholder meetings. I believe members of the ODM Youth League, members of the Women League, members of the Disability League, and I think we have taken other organs of the party. We had a lot of consultative meetings before we came up with the drafts. The drafts have since then moved through the process and were formally adopted yesterday by the National Executive Committee. Now, in respect of the Constitution, there were a few changes that we have proposed. The changes that we proposed to the Constitution, first and foremost, we tried to do an overall editorial. The Constitution that was adopted in 2014 had a few challenges in terms of the drafting, so we just did an overall editorial and the numbering to make it very easy for you to make reference. And secondly, we looked at the objectives that have been set out in Article 4 of our Constitution, and we said, as SG says, that we are a party of government, we needed to align our objectives to the national values. So we have aligned our objectives to the national values as set out in Article 10 of the Constitution. The next change that we did to the Constitution is that whereas there are several mentions that have been made of a Board of Trustees, there is no proper provision of how that Board of Trustees is supposed to be appointed and how it is supposed to become operational. Now, we have clearly provided for that in the Constitution. Whereas you have provided for the ODM Women League, and we have also provided for the ODM Youth League, you will see that in our current Constitution, we have not made a provision for the Disability League. Now, we have now provided for the ODM Disability League in our Constitution. And as SG said, we have now made a provision for our county coordinating committees as an organ of the party under the Constitution, so that our chairpersons will be sitting as members of those organs. The second last change that we made to the Constitution is that there is a group that are neither youth, neither would they consider themselves old men. We have provided for the Youth League up to the age of 35. But we have got an age group from the age of 35 up to 45 who have got very special needs. It has now transpired. So a special league has been created for this group aged between the 35 to 45 years. Makofi. And lastly, in respect of the Constitution, we have now provided for branch chairs of the leagues to be members of our National Delegates Convention. Those are the changes that we have made to the Constitution, and if you've had the opportunity to look at our website, a copy of the Constitution is posted on our website. The second thing that we did was to review our election and nomination rules. And I'd want to state that I think one of the things that came out very clearly in the task force report was that we have had challenges on how we conduct our party primaries and nominations. We have now provided very clear methods of how we can conduct our party primaries and nominate our candidates for various positions. Now, as you may have heard, we have now proposed 4 different methods. The first method is that a candidate will be identified through the process of consensus. The second method is that the party may offer a direct ticket. The third one is that we may use the delegates system, and the last one is that we can go through the process of universal suffrage. Now, those are the four processes, and we want to reiterate that we have made very clear provisions that where we are undertaking these processes will be done solely by people who are registered as members of the party and whose names appear on the party register. In fact, in this regard, when Chairman was leading our team in the National Assembly, in the amendments to the Political Parties Amendments Act, and they proposed that only those who are on the register would be allowed to participate in party members. Chairman, you remember this we had already done on our part. The next thing that we did on the rules is that we have now separated the nomination rules from the appeals rules. So we have got a separate rules for nominations, and we have got separate rules for appeals, for appeals that underpin the resolution of disputes arising out of party nominations and arising out of party lists. And number four, we have come up with a very clear procedure to take care of the party list elections as provided for under Article 90 of the Constitution. How do we nominate people to the Senate? How do we nominate people to the County Assembly? We have made very clear provisions. If you look at the rules from rules 54 to 56, you will see those provisions that we have made. So, in brief, those are the proposals that we have made to the Constitution, to the party primaries and nomination rules, and to the appeals tribunal rules. And this report was presented before the NEC yesterday, and it was adopted. So the Legal Committee requests formally the NGC to adopt the Constitution as revised, the party primaries and nomination rules, and the dispute resolution rules. That is all, and thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Wakili Orego. I would request that you get some chair somewhere there, because we may move to the next phase, which will require your presence up here. Now, honorable members, could we clap for him again? Thank you so much. We want to do two things. First is to adopt the report for discussion. Then after that, I will open it to the floor briefly, quick comments. Then now we will finish. Who is proposing? Senator Wako, I think you want to ask a question. That will be after. So can we have a proposer this side now? Who is ready to propose? TJ Kajwang, this side. I can see some hand. Unfortunately, with the masks, it is hard to know. Still, I can't help myself. But I know you sit next to Abdul Samad. Thank you. Actually, now we need someone from Disability League, and she's one. So let's start with TJ. Then we go to my left.
My name is TJ Kajwang, member for Ruaraka constituency and a member of this National Governing Council. I propose that the rules as drafted by the Legal Affairs Committee be adopted and considered.
Thank you. The amendments. The amendments to the Constitution, election rules, and election and nomination rules. Yes, seconder is there. Give it to the lady. Yeah, she's there.
I'm Margaret Okech from Siaya County and Disability Coordinator. I do second.
Thank you very much. We are not putting that to vote because we are still discussing. I want to now give a few of us who have concerns to raise, clarifications to seek, and comments. I'll start with the AG Emeritus. Yeah. And then just note what their concerns are, then you respond once.
First of all, I want to thank the Legal Committee for an excellent job that they have done. That's my first comment. In fact, I accept all the recommendations, but one, where I think maybe upon further explanations I may be able to accept. I do not think that we should include in our Constitution some age bracket called the age of 35 to 45. I don't think we should include there, because if it was the intention to align with our Constitution, no such age bracket is recognized under our Constitution, in fact under any constitution that I know of. And if you include 35 to 45, the 45 to 55 will come up to be recognized, the 55 to 65 will come up to be recognized, the 65 to 75 will come up to be recognized, and then I will urge very strongly that we recognize the 75 to 85 where I belong. If we are aligning our Constitution, then we just recognize the youth as per the Constitution, which I believe is up to the age of 36, up to the age of 35. Then we recognize, because it's recognized under our Constitution, the old people, 65 and above. But to bring in these brackets in between, I believe that we are not going in the right path. So honestly, I really want it to be explained, but I think that one would respectfully suggest we don't follow it. But all others, I recommend fully. May I take this opportunity also on the Secretary General's report just to comment? It was an excellent report. I would urge, since I was in BBI, I would urge that those who are drafting our election manifesto should commit themselves to some of the recommendations contained in the BBI, which were excellent for this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Wako. I don't know, this age bracket you are questioning, I don't know how it is called in Mulembe Nation. Where I come from is called a tegno. And it gives us problems. As politicians will tell you how to deal with it. But the next one, yes, I'll give Jeanette first. Then I will focus at the back, because we don't want to exclude those who are at the back in the discussion. Those with the mics, please. We want people who are fast. Can we have about 3 people? Can we have about 3 of you want to be here? Give it to Jeanette here. And I need more mics so that we can minimize the time wasted as we move a mic around.
Chairman, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Chairman, first I want also to thank the Legal Committee for the proposals that they have made that are far-reaching. Chairman, the issue of the nomination rules that they have just proposed. Chairman, one of the biggest problems our party has suffered from is nominations. And the country and the media subjects higher, scale on ODM than any other party. You will think that it is only ODM that is supposed to do nomination in Kenya. All other parties can do whatever they want. Now, these small parties that are mushrooming now are giving us problems because they are promising their candidates direct tickets. All popular candidates want to be in ODM, but they are being poached and being told, come, we'll give you direct ticket, don't get involved in nomination. So I want to propose that if a candidate has been identified scientifically through opinion poll is popular, let the National Election Board be mandated to give him direct ticket. Because this issue of 2007, 2013, 2017, it's only ODM that is held accountable on nominations. Jubilee, nobody holds them accountable. For Kenya, nobody holds them accountable. Any other party. So it is my opinion that if you have been identified scientifically, please, like the way I am, let me not say. Okay.
I'm sure that you did say was equally important, but anyway, you are allowed to keep it to yourself for now. Honorable Jonet, thank you for your contribution. I'm sure we are noting them. Is there anyone at the back? At the back? If not, then I'll come here and give Zuleha. Then I'll come that side. But I don't want it just to be for members of parliament. We also have other members of the National Governing Council. So if you are not a member of parliament, you will be lucky. Oh, I can see Governor is here. But let's start with Zulaya.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and for the presentation. I also wanted to second Senator Amos Wako regarding the League of 35-year-olds to 45-year-olds, if that can be expunged. I think the idea is to support people who are in the economically dependent group in any society, and the group of 36 to 64 are considered the economically active. So ukifika 35, we kubali tu me grow up. And then in regards to nomination and primaries, I understand that this parliament this time was in danger of being, the president is the one who saved parliament this time because of the two-third gender rule. So I understand that IBC is insisting that political parties, the nomination rules that they send, be compliant of the two-third gender rule. So in addition to Honorable Junet's suggestion, I also wanted to suggest that the party as well, if there's a woman candidate in a place and she's doing well in the polls, that she also be given a direct ticket to ensure that ODM's nomination list is compliant with the two-third gender rule. Thank you.
I'd mentioned Professor Nyong'o's name, or his position without a name. Then I'll come to, is it Danita? Yeah. And then I'll give maybe 3 more after that.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Anyang Nyong'o. I'm the governor of Kisumu County and the founder, secretary general of this great party called ODM. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you very much and your team for organizing this very good National Governing Council and having an agenda which is serious and seriously followed. Let me thank you. The point that Honorable Junet Mohammed has raised is very important, and I think it must be taken as central to the party's ideology. A party is like a club to which members belong because they're pursuing and believe in something. What Unite is saying will be important if we make our branches serious. And secondly, if the National Elections Board become as clean as Caesar's wife. And I must say that under my sister, Kathy Muma, the National Elections Board has started on that journey which we all appreciate. And Mr. Chairman, that means therefore that branches, as indeed stated in our Constitution, must be active throughout the year, and when they hold party elections at the branch level, they too must use scientific methods to arrive at those who are given positions of responsibility. Then that becomes a culture in the whole party which then when it exercised at the national level is something that we are all used to. So I think the statement that Junaid Mohammed has made is very important. I hope after this National Governing Council, it can be pursued to be implemented in reality continuously to protect us from these small parties which come by night, go to elections and disappear after elections. ODM has remained significant in this country because it is the only party which has been there since it is founded and practices its constitution, its election rules, and its ideology continuously. And so, Mr. Chairman, sir, this scientific method must not at any time be abused. But I'm quite sure, given a party like ours, and an election board like Kathy's, I'm sure it will be used proactively for the generations to come. Thank you very much.
I think we have really benefited from the wise words from our Secretary General Emeritus. I just want to give direction. We will also have a plenary. We are going to have a plenary. So at this point, I want just quick comments on the amendments to the Constitution, election and nomination rules. Danita.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Honorable Denita Gatti. I'm currently a Member of Parliament for Persons with Disabilities in the National Assembly and a member of the NGC. Chair, I want to commend the ODM party on behalf of the community of persons with disabilities that belong to the ODM party. And I want to also say that even as we move forward with the scientific research, Mr. Chairman, scientific research can also bend a little bit to look at persons with disabilities in the political circle, so that persons with disabilities are also able to offer themselves not only as voters, but also as candidates eligible for election in this country. So, Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the persons with disabilities of the ODM party, I want to say that the polls can be more inclusive also, so that the scientific research can also look at the popularity of persons with disabilities from the ward level to the Senate level to the governor level, so that we are also taking part in the political process. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Anything new on these rules? I'll give Ketora the final chance because these age brackets came from the Youth League. But Ketora, just wait a minute. I still have 3 more speakers ahead of you. I can see some hand at the back. I'll give you the first chance. Then Janet Ongera. I'll finish with Babu Owino. At the back. Yes, introduce yourself.
Aden kutoka Wajia. Kwanza mimi nasalamia Baba. Yeye anajua watu kutoka Wajia West. From 1997 mpaka wa leo tuko nyuma yake. Lakini Baba, nataka kupongeza kijana mmoja tu katika Northern Kenya ambaye ni MP peke yake. Wacha asimame Wabe Ahmed. Peke yake ndio MP katika Northern Kenya. Ushike mkono tafadhali, mimi naomba ya kijana ushike mkono kabisa kabisa.
Now that was a sweet one. I'm struggling to place it in our constitution and nomination amendments to the constitution and nomination rules, but now let's bring the mic here to Janet.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman. Baba, hi. All protocols observed. Chairman, I wanted to comment on the issue that Junet brought, which I think is a very important issue. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Senator Janet Ongera, the first woman executive director who made this party get over 100 members of parliament, together with the indefatigable governor, Senator Anyang' Nyong'o. The issue that Junet raised is a very important issue, but we must be very specific. When you are talking about a scientific opinion poll, who is going to conduct it? Because I can easily go and bribe somebody with 1 million shillings to make me be the leading opinion poll. Recently, I must say that some pollsters were sent around, and to my disappointment, and I have it in my phone, they sent me messages saying they have been sent, and should I give them something small, then they would make me be the leading candidate for governorship. We have to be very careful with pollsters. We must, as Senator Governor Nyong'o said, be like Caesar's wife. But it is a very good step that will bring us the best candidates, and in the view of small parties which are already eating into us as we speak. There are so many small parties that have come up, and they are taking our strong ODM members. We have to be very careful. If we use opinion poll, let it be above Caesar's wife. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, I want to repeat that we will have plenary at 12:40. Now, the last, Babu, then Ketora, prepare, and you can even come. Honorable members, we may not have everyone contribute to this. As I can see, most of you, if not all, are contributing to the plenary. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Fifth President of the Republic of Kenya. All protocol observed. I would like to third what Honorable Junet Mohamed talked about. And party, indeed, is like a club. Your Excellency, you realize that there are those people who join this party. They use it as a vehicle. Once elected, they run as fast as they came in. And disloyalty to a party leader, together with the party, must always be punished instantly, while loyalty to the party leader and the party must be rewarded in installments. Lastly, on what Honorable Wako said, Honorable Wako, I'm opposing what you said in totality. That one, life is about the isness, not the ought-ness. We have the two isness here. The first isness is that we have the age of the youth, which is 18 to 35. That is what is existing as a fact, but not a factoid. Whatever has been amended to include the age between 35 to 45, those people seem to be youthful or are youthful. Therefore, that is another isness. What you are saying, the age that will come between 45 to 55, that is the oughtness. We don't know whether it will come or not. So let us not bank on that and bank on what is there. Be that as it may, I rest my case. And I support what Honorable Junet said with all my body parts and organs. Thank you.
Thank you. If I was in Parliament, if we were in Parliament, I would have ordered for some parts of your speech to be expunged. But now, members, delegates, I want to ask Ketora to make a quick remarks. Ketora, please give Ketora the mic. Then we move. The rest of you will speak at the plenary.
Your Excellency, incoming President and honorable delegates, Jambo. ODM. Yeah, I just want to delve a bit on the issue of the incoming league. What we are saying, or what the young people are suggesting, is that once you are past 35, you are deemed to have been an old man or to have gotten to an adult, another bracket. And at that age of 35 and 45, that is when you are carrying the bigger responsibility of the society, of their family and everything. And as for politicians, because we are talking on behalf of politicians, they say women, for example in our party, there are rates that women will pay when it comes to fees or privileges. There are privileges that will come for the youth. And we are saying, so where is the privileges of these other active people beyond 35 and 45? They are out there, they have a bigger burden, they have a bigger responsibility, and they also want to act, to be fully active in politics. That's one. Number two, there is what is called transitional clause, even in our youthly constitution. or in our rules and regulations as a league. Now, that transitional clause must also be captured within the party constitution, so that those young people who have transitioned, the party could draw them or could get them easily for membership and many other activities that they can do for the party.
Thank you.
So that is the thought behind the creation of that other branch. It is not the age, it's not about the age, but it is about the branch, another branch that the young people are proposing, so that they can as well enjoy the privileges that comes from the party. Asanteni.
I want to be fair to the youth, because honorable members, I want to just explain something, that for us to bring something here, there must have been some consideration at the Central Committee, National Executive Committee, and now it comes to the National Governing Council. Just to give chance to one more youth. There is a lady in blue. Could you come forward, come somewhere near where you can get the mic, and just explain a bit. And I will request the chair of our board, because this proposal actually came from her, I remember, in consultation with the youth movement across the country. Then after that, we can make a decision. Thank you. Karibu. Then introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Any position you hold.
His Excellency Prime Minister and the Fifth President of the Nation. My name is Irene Acheng Ayimba. I represent the Youth League. So there's been a lot that's been said. Thank you so much for the opportunities, and thank you for that. Chair, thank you for this particular honor. So there's been stuff that has been said that touch on posterity, really. First, let me go to what Ketora has said, probably because it's last. He's spoken about the age group that we are supposed to work on between the ages of 35 and 45. Usually has a very good way of expressing it. But Baba, you have clearly said, and it's been about policy, it's been about constitution. And when we start moving away from it, it's not so much of the fact that we rely on the fact that you will be there or somebody with goodwill. We can always have someone coming in who's not necessarily as philanthropic and necessarily as futuristic as you are for Kenya. So it's possible that some of these things, when they're anchored in law, they're likely to be abused. Going on to what Junet had said, we have scientific, then we have organic. But at the same time, it's not like Kenya is operating in vacuums. Kenya has a way of operating within institutions that have leadership or characters that work in it that are questionable. So when we speak about having a scientific method, I am more worried about the fact that there will be somebody who's occupying that office whose character is not meriting what we are facing. Recently, Ngilu said something. She said to, I think, Mutulaura gathering, she said that you will lie to Kalonzo and tell him, oh, you are a president, because you're seeking for your own position, and then we do not make it. Here in our beloved party, we have this spirit of already there. And there's a lot of that is moving with us. So even when it is clear that we are headed there, Baba, you're getting this thing. For me, I know I'm convicted. As a Nyalego, your mother is a Nyalego. So as a Nyalego today, just like your mother's representative, you are getting it. Baba, as you will be president of this nation, you will make sure...
Now conclude, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will make sure that a lot of these things are done. So by the time I do not occupy a seat, I'm not vying for anything, but by the time I do not occupy it, but I believe in the character of the person who's occupying the presidency, so that the policies that are already within the constitution will as such be formulated, I think I should be confident.
Thank you.
So we will say that we are having a system, and then the nominations are going to be messed up because the character of the people occupying that office are questionable, then we get it messed up.
Your speech is so good, but I don't know whether it has helped me on the issue of the youth. Now, can we have Catherine Muma? Yeah.
Excellency, Your Excellency, Party Leader, and honorable members of the National Governing Council, I am the one who proposed that we create a league to accommodate youths aged 35 and 45. This is the reason why I did it. When we went around the country to enforce the grassroots elections, I asked all those people who are 35 and above, not to stand for election for any position in the Youth League. I would like to report that everywhere we went, the youth protested, and they actually asked us that they cannot be in a party and at their prime level, when they have a lot of energies, we remove them from an organ where they can operate. So we felt, since we need a referendum to change the definition of a youth, the best way to go is to create a structure where this age group can also participate the way they have been participating in the other leagues. I would urge the council to consider this as a unique issue for the party and support the youth in this regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, members. As Chair consults, Your Excellency, just allow me 1 minute to speak on something that my sister Janet Ongera raised. First of all, it must be understood that any system of nomination that the party adopts must be to ensure that you actually win the seats that you are targeting. It would be foolhardy for anyone to mess with the science and then expect to come out as a winner on the other side. So what I want to do, and I want to remind my sister Janet Ongera, because we went through this process with you in Bonchari, I want to stand here as your SG to bear witness that in fact there is not a single time where the science has misled us. And those on this table can bear me witness. When we did the scientific poll in Sambweni, the results of the primary were exactly the same as what the science was telling us. In Bonchari, we employed science and it was showing us that in fact if you gave that gentleman called Oimeke the ticket, he would win. And he won. In Dabaso and in all these other by-elections, the science and the results were spot on. So I don't think there is anybody, if your interest is to make sure that when the fifth is the president, he actually has soldiers, if you mess with the science, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Thank you.
Members, I want to kindly invite our party leader to say something about these two issues, the youth and the issue of the opinion polls, which has come up very strongly.
Now, I really did not intend to speak at this stage, but the two issues here. One is about the youth. And I've been saying that the difference between the old and the young is just one. That the young have at one time been, the old have at one time been young. They have been youth. But the youth have never been old. So they don't know what it means to be old. So youth is a transient status. I have been myself involved in the youth movement for a long time. I used to be the Secretary General of Federation of Kenyan Students in Europe. And I traveled across all Europe organizing Kenyans. And we were members of the International Union of Students, IUS, at that time. And the youth has always been defined universally. That youth is from 1 or 0 to 35. That's what it is. From 35 to 45, what you're talking about, that is early middle age. There's early middle age, there's middle age, there's late middle age, there's early old age, middle old age, and late old age. So that's what it is. So what I see here is reluctance to transit and then take us somewhere where we know the results are very clear. You remember in Sambweni we had the problem. We had to go for a primary. And when we were going to go for a primary, the one who forced us on primary bolted and went the other side. So what we want to say is that let us agree. First, consensus. If consensus does not work, then you do a poll. If that is not accepted, then you go for delegates. Thirdly, you can go for universal. This is what we're saying. Have options so that we make this process simple and cost-effective for the party. Thank
you. You know, listening to the party leader, I'm even wondering whether Wakili has anything to say. I think he has none, because there were just two issues. There was the issue of the age, and then the issue of opinion polling, and whether we should conduct our nomination processes the way we have been doing it. And I think the party leader has spoken to the two. I am not saying whatever party leader says is final, but it should be respected. So I am just going to put the question. I'm going to put the question, and the convention will agree or disagree. Sawa. But before I put the question, there is supposed to be an amendment. The one for age bracket is already in our proposed rules. So I want to ask Senator Wako to propose for the amendment on the proposed rules to
dealing with the age bracket 35 to 45 be deleted. I so move.
Seconder, this side. Now you can give it to Solea so that we save on time. Okay.
Okay, I second, and I just wanted to tell the youth, if you want to chill with the big boys, Wacharana Youth League.
Asanteni sana. So, I want to propose that we amend the proposed constitution, amendment to the constitution, party constitution, election and nomination rules, and remove the proposed age bracket of 35 to 45. Will as of that opinion say aye? Those with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Asanteni sana. Then that takes me now to propose for adoption of our ODM party amendments. I want to be very clear. Amendments to the ODM party constitution and election rules and election and nomination rules as amended be adopted. Will as of that opinion say aye? Those with contrary opinion to say nay? The ayes have it. Thank you, honorable delegates. We are moving to the next agenda, and I'm just checking on time again. I think we are 5 minutes late, but that's not so bad. We want to get a report on 1, election of national and grassroots officials, 2, Azimio coalition, and then we'll go to nomination of presidential candidates. Now, we are going to start with elections of national and grassroots officials. And I want to request the chair of our National Elections Board, Catherine Muma, to take the floor. Thank you. And I don't know how many minutes you are promising me. 3 minutes. Let me give you 5.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. My report will be quick. Thank you. Thank you very much. My report will be quick. We were appointed, the National Elections Board was appointed in August 2020, and immediately after our appointment, we set out to work with the legal committee to prepare the rules for party grassroots elections, which the legal committee has presented and I will not dwell on. We then embarked to prepare to carry out the party grassroots elections because the party grassroots elections were due in 2020. But because of the COVID-19 situation in the country and the presidential directive that there should be no political party meetings, the National Elections Board guided the country, the party, to get into party grassroots elections through consensus. Most of our counties opted to carry out party grassroots elections through harmonizations. We have received the returns from all the counties on the consensus elections or harmonization, and we have had a few problems in some of the counties where we have had wrangles around which structure is the correct structure, and we have recommended to the NEC that because of the special circumstances of the elections that have been carried out in party grassroots elections, as we go to the general elections, all party members be allowed to go without us focusing on resolving any of the few wrangles that are happening in the counties, but that next year, since there is no COVID anymore, and we hope that there'll be no situation that will hold us, that within next year, we carry out proper grassroots elections, beginning the polling center where we will involve every member of the party. So we have recommended the adoption of this rule for the party grassroots elections, and we are urging our members to focus on the general elections rather than the resolving of issues relating to party grassroots structures. For the National Executive Committee, which is the highest organ, this sitting is the sitting that will have carried out those elections. Similar to the other structures, we are proposing that the National Executive Committee structure we are recommending that, similar to what we did with the other structures, there be at this sitting the harmonization of the National Executive Committee and the proper elections be carried out similarly next year when we carry out the party grassroots elections. So I would want the Executive Director to come and present the agreement of the NEC on the harmonization of the National Executive Committee. Thank you very much. The SG will do it.
Yeah, Your Excellency, in
in light of that report by the chair of the board, which report was also presented to the National Executive Committee yesterday, we have made a proposal that requires ratification of the National Governing Council. And this is the proposal that, in light of the challenges of the past 2 years brought about by the COVID pandemic that made it impossible or difficult to conduct grassroots elections as envisaged and the elections of the national officials as envisaged, it be proposed to the National Governing Council to defer elections of national officials to sometime next year, and that harmonization be done to fill existing vacancies in the National Executive Committee brought about by national attrition or defection for the time being. That is what was resolved yesterday by NEC and which requires ratification by this sitting. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
We're using the other one. All the short people should use this one. Now, you have heard the resolution from our SG. Yeah. Is there anything before I go?
Yeah. So I'm being reminded by the party leader to inform the Governing Council of the existing vacancies in the National Executive Committee. There is the position of Vice Chair following the resignation by a member from Taita Taveta. There is the position of National Organizing Secretary. There is the position of Deputy Organizing Secretary that was vacated following resolution of NEC, the Honorable Owen Baya. There is another Deputy Organizing Secretary after the loss of Honorable Suleiman Dori. There is the position of Secretary of Environment, which is vacant, and the Secretary for Science and Technology, which is also vacant. The proposal yesterday that was adopted by the NEC is that these positions revert to the counties from where the person who vacated that position hailed from. So the position of Vice Chair that was held by Honorable Mwadegu will go to Taita Taveta County. So the proposal yesterday by the National Executive Committee was to fill that vacancy by the Honorable Mwadegu exiting. We replace him with Honorable Mwaruma, who's the Senator for Taita Taveta. The National Organizing Secretary, who was from Garissa County, be replaced by Ahmed Abdisalan Ibrahim from Garissa, who is here, the only member of the MPS from Wajir. Sorry about that. The Deputy Organizing Secretary that was held by Honorable Owen Baya be replaced by Honorable Ken Chonga. The position that was held as Deputy Organizing Secretary by the late Dori be held by Honorable Zuleika Hassan from Kwale. We propose that the Secretary for Environment be held by Stella Chepkurui, who is from from Kericho County to replace Ngeni, who is now our Director for Regional Coordination. And lastly, the position for Secretary of Science and Technology, which was held by a member from Nairobi, be replaced by Honorable Paul Ongili Babu Owino from the County of Nairobi. Your Excellency, that is the proposal, and I would invite the chairman to put the question for a vote. Thank you.
I think there is only one more position that will fill at an appropriate time, the Secretary for Humanitarian Affairs, which has also fallen vacant. But I want to, can I get proposer for the same? Proposer? Yeah, we'll put question on. Pareno, I saw your hand. Then Omar Mwinyi behind you.
I, Judith Pareno, nominated Senator Kajiado County, hereby proposes that the amendments that have just been read be endorsed.
It's actually harmonization.
Harmonization of our neck.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. At least now you have seen me. I, Omar Mwinyi, member for Changamwe and life member for Odm, hereby second the harmonization of the changes that, of course, have taken place right away. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we have a proposer and a seconder for the filling of the vacant positions in NEC. So we'll ask of a similar opinion say aye. Those with contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. So I will request the chair of the board again to go through quickly issues of party primaries. Then we'll go to Azimio coalition.
Thank you, Chair. Quickly, in accordance with the rules, I wish on behalf of the NEB to report that the NEB is preparing for the party primaries elections. We have encouraged that members continue to employ the method of consensus so that they can give us single candidates where they are able. We have commissioned the opinion polling and for the period 9th February, when civil servants resigned, and the first week of March, opinion polling is happening. So those of you who are candidates, get busy on your ground so that you can be polled fairly. We have asked the party aspirants, the aspirants who are members or who are officials in the party grassroots structures to resign, and every one of them was expected to resign on 15th February. We have asked all our party grassroots structure officials not to engage in partisan support of candidates during the party primaries, so that the structures are not used in support of some ODM candidates and not other ODM candidates. We have required that any member of the structures who feels they must support one candidate to also resign so that they can support their candidate but not use the party structure to do the campaigns. Last week, we asked our ward chairs to help us to do the mapping of the polling centers we will use when we do universal polling through universal suffrage. What we are doing is amalgamating the different polling centers so that we have about 4 polling centers in every ward. And we have asked that all our aspirants read all the election laws to ensure that they are compliant when we will put up the notice for application. I'd like to indicate that we will be receiving applications beginning on Monday 28th, between Monday 28th and March 10th, and we ask that all aspirants prepare to submit their applications. Applications will be received digitally, and for those who are not able to, we will also receive them manually. We have asked that all aspirants engage transparently, so officials, aspirants are asked to ensure that the payments that are required are paid to the party and not to anybody else. We are asking the NEB, we would like to confirm that the NEB officials and staff do not require any money from any aspirant, so do not attempt to pay anything to any official of the party or official of the NEB. And we would like to remind you that that's an electoral offense, so anybody who attempts to bribe anybody will not be tolerated. We would like to also ask that any party official who engages in using their position to suggest that they can give certificates be reported to the NEB so that they do not abuse their position. And finally, we would like to say that any aspirant whose supporters use violence will be disqualified from participating in the party primaries. Thank you very much.
Members, we have a plenary. The plenary is going to come shortly. But before that, on Azimio, I just want to give like 3 minutes to Honorable Junet Mohammed, just to say a word on it, and then we will move to the next.
Asante sana, Chairman, incoming President of the Republic of Kenya, our deputy party leaders, delegates, hamjambo. Tusalimiane kwa mkono ama hii sio rally. Sasa nimepewa nafasi ya dakika chache ni waeleze kuhusu mambo ya Azimio Coalition Party. Sasa vile mnavyojua, hii mambo ya safari ya Azimio ilianzishwa na baba Raila Amolo Odinga kutoka Nakuru, ikasafiri nchi pali nyingi, wameelekea counties ama sehemu 15, 15 regions. The Azimio traveled to 15 regions from different parts of the country, and that culminated at Kasarani, where our party leader declared his presidential bid and also declared the official launch of Azimio Coalition Movement. Baada ya hapo, mambo ikaendelea. There were many rallies that were conducted all over the country, the last one being at Tononoka grounds, ambayo ilikuwa kubwa sana, na zingine ambayo zilifanyika Kilifi County na Kwale County na Taita Taveta County. Now, I want to share with you that I want first to thank the party, the ODM party, its officials, led by the chairman and secretary general and the party leader, that they have supported the Azimio movement in many ways. I don't want to mention here, but the ODM party has been a serious supporter of the Azimio movement. So now, going forward, Azimio coalition is going to be the next frontier for the next election. And that's where we are going to end up as a party, as a coalition. And the movement now is being supported by over 10 parties. Over 10 parties have subscribed to the movement as we are speaking today. And tomorrow in the National Delegates Conference of Jubilee and ODM, they were supposed to sign membership, but now it has been agreed that we are going to have a serious launch of the Azimio coalition in 2 weeks' time, God willing, where all parties that subscribe to Azimio will be invited. Now I want to request the delegates today that as the NEC has approved and the Central Management Committee, the National Governing Council to also approve that ODM becomes an anchor member with Jubilee, our founder members with Jubilee of the Azimio coalition movement. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. Now, honorable delegates, I think we've had just a brief overview of Azimio la Umoja coalition as a coalition and as a party, where ODM is going to be a corporate member. I will request that we make a formal declaration today, even before we go to the plenary. I don't know whether there is anyone in this room who is against ODM joining Azimio la Umoja coalition. That must be, that would be the serious enemy of this party. But now, I want to ask, the deputy party leader is telling me I'm scaring them. I'm just guiding the democracy. Anyway, could we have a proposer? I can see some hand there. I hope you are, I'm restraining from using, no, let me use this lady. There is a lady here. And by the way, before you propose, this is the resolution, that it is proposed to the National Governing Council today to ratify the decision by National Executive Committee that the Orange Democratic Movement formally joins the Azimio la Umoja coalition / coalition party. So that is what you are proposing. Can you give the interpreter the microphone? Yeah. So speak for her.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. My name is Ashura Michael, a life member of the greatest political party in East Central Africa. And we adopt the decision made by, the resolution made by NEC and NGC, that ODM joins Jubilee. We as the members have proposed to work with the Jubilee and other political parties for the prosperity. And Azimio la Umoja, joining the Azimio la Umoja, as we continue our journey to State House to ensure the 5th entrance State House.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The speaker, the chairman, is allowed to expunge. So we are expunging the parts talking about Jubilee, and we are talking about Azimio la Umoja party coalition. The seconder is here. No, there, next to you. Next to you, please. Yes, this side, on your left.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. No, it's Islamic saying.
Just continue, ignore. Address the chair, please.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
My name is Maliun Ali, a member of NGC, and I came from Mandera County. I will second the meeting that had been adopted that we will join Azimio la Umoja.
Thank you. Now let me put the question. That it is proposed to that the decision by National Executive Committee that the Orange Democratic Movement Party formally joins the Azimio la Umoja coalition or coalition of party. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I want to say that all those provisions in our constitution which require two-thirds ratification, everything including the amendments to our constitution have been passed unanimously by members, and so we have met the threshold of two-thirds. I just want to make that clarification so that it goes on record. Now, I want to, our presidential candidates will be elected by National Delegates Conference tomorrow. Today, what National Governing Council is expected to do is to forward names of presidential candidates / candidates to the National Delegates Conference. Meaning we may have one candidate or we may have 2 or even 20 to propose to the NDC. It is the NDC which will come up with one presidential candidate for ODM. So I want to get for NGC to approve those who are going to contest tomorrow for presidency under the ticket of ODM.
Baraka zake hazikuishi, si kama binadamu badiliki. Ananipenda leo kuliko jana, kuliko jana, kuliko jana. Yesu nipende leo kuliko jana, kuliko jana, kuliko jana. Yesu nipende.
So, thank you. Yeah, just like I was saying, we are going to take some steps because we don't want to have any misstep on this. We will invite the board through the chair who will tell us how many people have come forward to contest this seat. After that, we may hear from them. Those candidates, I'm not one of them. After that, then I will ask Opio Wandai to say something, and we will put it to a vote, those we are proposing for NDC. So, Catherine, karibu.
Thank you, Chair. Now, honorable delegates of the National Governing Council, I would like to report on behalf of NEB that on January 21st, 2021, the NEB sent out a notice requesting for applicants, qualified party applicants, to apply for the position or to be considered as candidates for the presidential position. We extended, the deadline was supposed to be 26th February, and the deadline was moved to 30th March. We received only 2 applications from the 2 deputy party leaders, that is Honorable, His Excellency Honorable Ali Hassan Joho and His Excellency Honorable Wycliffe Ambetsa. At the end, before we started processing the applications, the 2 aspirants indicated that they were stepping down in support of the party leader. I would like at this NGC to invite the 2 aspirants to come and confirm if indeed they step down for the party leader. I would also then ask the NGC to deliberate on the matter of our presidential candidate. Welcome, deputy party leaders. Starting with Your Excellency Ali Hassan Joho.
Your Excellency, my party leader and the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, Unajua lazima tuseme ukweli. Mimi, Your Excellency, number one, you're my father. And therefore mimi nimelelewa na malezi mazuri. There is absolutely no way mimi naweza shindana na babangu kwa mshindano wowote. Your Excellency, we also know what you mean for us and the country at large. Your Excellency, you've been my political mentor. When I joined politics in 2004, you held me and you never left me. I take pride to have learned so many lessons in my political career from you. Your Excellency, there is absolutely no way that some of us will even have an iota of doubt that this is the moment for you. And therefore we commit with all that we have and all that we can, with all the zeal we can provide going forward, to ensure we deliver this presidency to you kwa kifua chetu. So Your Excellency, I know the future is with us, even though we have moved from the category of the 0 to 35, but we still are young enough to keep the fight going to the future. And therefore I want to formally here announce before the NGC that I have withdrawn my candidature for the President of the Republic of Kenya now, and endorse you as my preferred presidential candidate, which we are sure. We say it in our rallies, but there is nothing that stops us from saying it here. So, Your Excellency, on the 9th of August at 11 p.m., the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya shall be Raila Amolo Odinga. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our Deputy Party Leader, the Governor for Mombasa. I know there is still a space for you. You will make more remarks. You know, now you want to put me at loggerheads with my two Deputy Party Leaders. Let's deal with the 5th first. Now, there will be some space again for the two Deputy Party Leaders to make remarks, general remarks, before we call or we invite the party leader. But at this juncture, I want to ask Governor Oparanya, Wycliffe Oparanya, also to tell us.
Your Excellency, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, my colleagues who are here, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Mimi Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, Deputy Party Leader of Odm. Pia mimi nilitaka kuwa president. Walisema tupeleke maombi nikapeleka maombi, lakini tumeangalia hali ya anga na mnajua Raila in really sense is my big brother, but saa hii ni baba wa kila mtu, si ndio? Kwa hivyo niliapply, ni wakati niliona baba pia anataka hii kitu, nikasema yeye pia ana experience nyingi kabisa kuliko mimi, and therefore I'm formally withdrawing my bid today in support of Raila Amolo.
Thank you very much. So before we go to the formal proposals and seconding, I will ask our Secretary for Political Affairs, Wandai, to take just 2 minutes to explain something that we discussed in NEC, and then we will pick it up from there.
Your Excellency, the party leader, members of the National Governing Council, my name is Opio Wandai, Member of Parliament for Ugunja constituency and Secretary for Political Affairs of the party. Now, following the report that was tabled by NEC to this National Governing Council meeting regarding the process relating to the party presidential candidate election, I wish now, therefore, to request the National Governing Council to note the following. 1, that the only applicants who had applied for the presidential nomination have since withdrawn their candidatures, indicating their support for the party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, to be the sole party presidential candidate. 2, that following our party leaders' consultations, following our party leaders' wide consultations with the Kenyan people in all the regions of the country, under the framework of the Azimio la Umoja initiative, the party leader was overwhelmingly petitioned by wananchi to run for the office of the President of the Republic of Kenya in the election of August 2022. 3, and accordingly, on the 10th of December 2021, our party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, did accept the invitation by the people of Kenya to run for the office of President. I wish, therefore, to move as follows. 1, that the National Governing Council notes that the only 2 applicants for nomination as ODM presidential candidates have since withdrawn their applications. And 2, that in view of number 1 above, the National Governing Council does resolve that our party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, be endorsed by the National Delegates Conference, that is tomorrow, as the ODM nominee for President under the Azimio la Umoja movement or coalition. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wandai.
Thank you very much. I think Wandai has been very clear. I'll read that resolution again, but before, we have to make proposer and seconder. And I would request the two deputy party leaders who magnanimously now do the formal proposing and seconding of our presidential candidate. Honorable His Excellency Oparanya.
I, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, Deputy Party Leader of Odm, do hereby propose that Raila Amolo Odinga be our only candidate for the next presidential election in August 2022. And we are also giving him all the powers to go out there and negotiate with other leaders to make sure that he becomes the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. I now invite my colleague Hassan Joho to second my proposal.
I, Hassan Ali Joho, Deputy Party Leader of ODM, do hereby second the candidature of Raila Amolo Odinga for the next election, and also propose you, Your Excellency, as the preferred Azimio presidential candidates.
Thank you. So, honorable delegates, now let me put the question. That the ODM National Governing Council held today at the Bomas of Kenya, 25th of February 2022, do propose to the National Delegates Conference of the party that the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga be the ODM nominee for presidential candidate under the Azimio la Umoja Coalition Coalition Party. Will, as of that opinion, say aye? Will, as of contrary opinion, say nay? The ayes have it. Now, honorable delegates, I think we are pressed of time because we still have quite a bit. We have 2 major items. But allow me to take the conference to the plenary. I promised you plenary, and I think a lot has been discussed. So unless we have burning issues which we can raise, what is the mood of the House? The mood of the House is tumemaliza hata na maneno ya plenary, si ndio? Yes, I think that is the mood of the House. Honorable members, I think what we have decided that we bypass is the plenary. If you go to the agenda, we must have a few of us to say a word or two. That is when it becomes a national governing council. We have a few speakers, and if I give you opportunity to speak, just take a maximum of 2 minutes. If I were you, I would take 1. So that, and avoid repetition and saying the obvious. I'm starting with a representative of the county coordinating committees. I will have the Honorable George Aladwa, who is actually the chair of the chairs of coordinating committees.
And Honorable Adwa, 2 minutes. Thank you.
Asante sana party leader. Kwanza nakupongeza kwa kuteuliwa kugombea kiti cha urais kwa tiketi ya chama chetu cha ODM. Ya pili, nataka kukaribisha wajumbe wote katika Nairobi, mjisikie mko nyumbani. Jambo langu kuu katika Governing Council, our party leader, kwa wenyekiti kwa niaba yao, ningelitaka wale wanagombea viti za MCAs katika ward level, wanagombea viti kwa constituency level, kwa county level, watumie structure za chama chetu cha ODM. Wale waheshimiwa machairman wasimami, wale wataresign, wapewe heshima zao, kwa sababu hao ndio wamechunga chama hizo siku zote. Mimi nimekuwa mwenyekiti wao Kenya mzima, na ni vyema kutambua kazi yao ile wanafanya, na pia vile vile makao makuu vile wamewasupport through our chairman SG. Mmesaidia machairman wetu kuwapa maoffices katika mashinani, kuona chama chetu kiko imara. Nataka kutoka sasa kuendelea mbele tuanze campaign ya kumake sure kwamba rais wetu wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka huu ni Engineer Raila Amolo Odinga. Na kwa wale machairman wako mashinani, nataka tukuwapatia nguvu, kuambia chama iko na nyinyi, na tutashikilia tuone kwamba chama chetu kimemarika. Asante na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you, the great chair of Nairobi County. And I want to just mention those who are going to speak so that you can prepare. The next speaker will be Rhoda Katalai. I think she's from Baringo County, but she's going to speak on behalf of county women leaders. After that, we'll have Stephen Basele, who is going to speak on behalf of the youth leadership. Then we go to our Disability League. We will have the Honorable Caroline Agwanda, and then now we will come to the 3 leaders of our leagues. So can I have Rhoda? Do we have Rhoda Katalai? Rhoda, where are you? Rhoda is at the back. I wish you came. She's there. And then these are the Stephen and Caroline, please move closer. Rhoda is from West Pokot. And Rhoda, to come here when you kindly address the delegates from up here. And so Stephen Basele, move karibu. Stephen Basele, kuja karibu. Caroline Agwanda may not move, but I think she's somewhere not very far. Where is she? Can I see her by a show of hand? She's here. And then, of course, the 3 chairs, you know yourself, the 2 presidents of our leagues. Rhoda, the floor is yours. And it is strictly 2 minutes.
Rais wetu, na deputy party leader, delegates, national governors, national governor, Ole. Mimi naitwa Rhoda Katalai. Mimi ni women chair kutoka West Pokot County. Sisi kama mimi naongea wa mama wote wa Kenya, wa mama ya chama. Mimi nasema hivi, baba, sisi wa mama ya chama cha ODM, sisi tumekaa na wewe imara, hatujatingisika, na wamama wako na wewe 100%. Mpaka mashinani. Hata ukienda hata paka kichichi, ile watu yako ya ODM wa mama wako wanaimba tu baba na wanakuombea, na sisi pia tunakuombea na utapata hiyo kiti baba. Mimi nauliza baba, tuko chini ya president yetu bet yangu. Kama sisi wa mama tumeumia sana, na wewe unajua tumeumia. Sasa utuangalie ile wamama mashinani vile tumeumia, utuangalie baba, utatuangalia namna gani? Juu sisi tunaumia, tumesimama na wewe, lazima utuangalie baba, kwa sababu sisi ni watoto yako, na sisi hakuna male tunaenda, sisi tunakuunga 100%. Uangalie chair ladies ya county yote 47 county. Nataka baba unominate wa mama wote wa 47 counties, kwa sababu wanakufanyia campaign usiku na mchana, hawalali, hata wengine wamefukuzwa makwao. Lakini tunasema waacha tukae na baba. Na baba, tunaomba kabisa baba, utuangalie kama wamama na utupatie hata gari.
Thank you.
Ile tunaendea, hatuna magari wa mama huko mashinani. Utusaidie magari ile tuende tuingie kila mahali, kila nyumba.
Thank you.
Tutafute kura. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Where is Stephen? Asante sana, Rhoda.
Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, all protocol observed. Kwa majina naitwa Stephen Basele kutoka Marsabit, kutoka jamii naitwa Warendile. Na nimeshukuru sana kwa niaba ya vijana kwa kunichagua kuzungumza kwa sababu yao, kwa niaba yao. Na sisi vijana, Baba, I want to promise you that the youth are with you 100%. Sisi tuko mashinani, tutahakikisha ya kwamba one, we will mobilize all eligible voters in our regions to ensure that we deliver the Baba vote. And number 2, sisi kama vijana and aswa Odm Youth League under the able leadership of Ketora, tutahakikisha ya kwamba we have a network tunaita vote protection unit, that vote ya baba ikipigwa mashinani, tutasimama hapo tuhakikisha imehesabiwa vizuri, imekuwa tallied, na tutaleta results kwa Chebukati nikumwambia tu atangaze. That is one thing that sisi kama jeshi la vijana tutahakikishia baba. And lastly, tunataka pia once ukikalia hiyo kiti, tunajua kwamba mara mingi umekumbuka vijana, endelea kukumbuka vijana, na pia nakukumbusha tafadhali, umekuwa baba ya jamii ya wafugaji. Tunaomba uendelee kutukumbuka, especially sisi kutoka arid and semi-arid north. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Baba the 5th.
Thank you, Steve. Kindly give it to Caroline.
Congratulations, His Excellency, the party leader, for being nominated as the party presidential candidate. As persons with disabilities in the party, we take this opportunity to thank you for the support that you've given persons with disability, especially the Disability League, and the support that you've also ensured that persons with disabilities interest is adhered to as per the legal framework that is there, both globally and locally, and your interest that you've had to ensure that disability mainstreaming is done in all aspects, and this has been implemented partly by the counties, and there are a lot that has been done in regards to this. We'll humbly request that the party looks into the interest of facilitating the ODL officers at facilitating the ODL
Just go on. It is being recorded what you are saying.
Facilitating the ODM Disability League's officers at the county to the branches, and also looking at the interest of persons with disabilities who are vying for different positions. When you'll also be giving appointive positions, we humbly request that you consider different types of disabilities at different levels. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Another level, I have 3 more speakers in that category. One,
Now we are moving to the national chairman of our Disability League, Nixon Kakiri.
Your Excellency, the party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the deputy party leaders, Your Excellencies, the governors who are all here, honorable delegates, and members of the National Governing Council, ODM. 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 Well, today I'm super excited because our 5th president is seated in this gathering and he has already been crowned. And Your Excellency, I'd just like to inform you that since we launched the Disability League, it was not yet enshrined in the Constitution, but today it has been adopted in the Constitution and it has been confirmed. So we thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that generous work. So our vision has already been achieved. In the book of Matthew chapter 28, verses 19, Jesus said to the 12 disciples, "Go ye and spread the gospel." I want to inform you, Your Excellency, as a Disability League, we have already spread the gospel by launching several disability leagues in several counties. And we have functional structures in place and with positions escalating, starting from the grassroots levels, escalating all the way to the national level. And we are excited and we are continuing to work with your vision of expanding and spreading the gospel. Your Excellency, the party leader, we also have a neck of persons with disabilities who joined me in this gathering. Kindly stand and wave. These are members of the Disability League, drawn from Turkana County. Some came from Homa Bay County, others from Siaya County, others from Meru County, others from Nairobi County, others from Mombasa County, Kilifi County, drawn from all over the places of the country. And they are all ready to look for votes for you. And each person will bring their voting basket, at least 10 or 12 people from the grassroots. And we promise you 100% solid support that we're going to vote for you as persons with disability to become our president. And the party leader, even as you go to the Azimio coalition, I'd like to inform you that we as a league have partnered with the organizations that have assisted us. We have the WFD, Westminster Foundation for Democracy, and other development partners who have supported this work. And the evaluation shows that ODM is the true champion of inclusivity as far as persons with disabilities are concerned in political process. And we see we are a model that other political parties can copy from. And we want to continue tirelessly advocating for your vision to ensure that we achieve this dream. And this year we capture the government and we ensure that we include all persons of diverse groups so that we be there. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Let's clap for Kakiri again. 1, 2, 3. Asante Nizana. So the next speaker is going to be Ketora, who is the chairman of our Orange Youth League. Ketora, 2 minutes, then we go to the last speaker under that category.
Sorry, Chairman. I've been told to use your stand. ODM. ODM. Thank you, Your Excellency, our party leader, our incoming president, our deputy party leaders, all the leaders here, honorable delegates, we are very honored today that we are here to endorse our Baba. And Baba, we say congratulations. I just want to see the neck of my youth league, tafadhali, just where you are. Wilson Karanja, simama kidogo. Your Excellency, that's our organizing secretary. He was ill for almost 2 years and went through an operation at Coptic Hospital. And we are very grateful to you, sir, that through your support, your financial support, he is now well and he has joined the team. Asante. Thank you. Sit down. That's why we say he is Baba. He cares for us. Baba care. Secondly, Your Excellency, I'm a very honored and happy leader today of the young people in this country. For one thing, that our grassroots leaders, the chairmen at the branches, will be attending our NDC, the next NDC, that their proposal has been accepted. That is a good honor and a good indication that indeed you are working with us. As young people in this country, I just want to affirm and reaffirm our support. Wale waliwika, walidanganyana, walitoa pesa, wakadhani wanatushawishi. But we just want to tell them, pesa yenu tulikula, tukashiba, na vijana wote nchi yote Kenya wamerudi kwa baba yao. Ni ukweli ama si ukweli? Ni ukweli ama si ukweli? Baba, when you are the Prime Minister, the things you did, right from the Constitution to the devolution, kazi kwa vijana, and many, many other things, were indication that indeed you care for young people in this country.
Thank you.
Wakati wako wa kukulipa imefika. Lastly, I want to tell the Odm party. The Bible says a cry may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Our cry as an opposition party, our scars, wakati yetu ya kulia imeisha. It is our time to be happy. It is our time to have energy. It is our time to support our Baba. It is our time to transform this country. Ukweli ama si ukweli? Basi ukirudi mashinani, tembea kama jeshi. Ya mwisho, chairman.
That should have been the last.
Yes, the last chairman. Ninataka kuomba wale vijana wote wenye atafanyia kazi chama, with all dedication, you will have your reward. Ndio hii chairman na election board.
Your Excellency, the incoming 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, all honorable delegates, good afternoon. My name is Beth Siengo, the ODM Women League President. Baba, I have very few things to say. First of all, I would like to recognize my NEC members for ODM Women League. Please, wherever you are, stand up and wave to the crowd. Those are my NEC members from across the country. Thank you. You may be seated. Secondly, Your Excellency, as Women League, we wrote a proposal to an organization called ALN, African Liberal Network, to look for support for women candidates in 2022. And we have been honored by the organization, and they have sent a representative all the way from South Africa. Nangamso Kwinana is in our midst. Please, Kwinana, stand up and wave. That lady has come from ALN in South Africa. She will be stationed in Kenya for the remaining part of this year to make sure the elections that are going to take place, women have their space. She has come to support our party, ODM, you included, Your Excellency. Then I want to say the following. Our duty as women of this nation, it is to make sure Your Excellency, because you are going to be the presidential candidate of Azimio coalition or Azimio party, women will look for votes. Women will stand with you. Women will vote for you. Because a vote for you is a vote for peace and prosperity for women in this nation. Secondly, Your Excellency, women of this party, ODM, commit today in this gathering that we are going to make sure we will work tirelessly to deliver ODM governors, ODM senators, ODM members of parliament, and ODM MCAs across the country. Lastly, Your Excellency, the women of the Great Republic of Kenya under the ODM party, which is the greatest party East and Central Africa, are ready to make sure they will work, they will support their fellow women, and they will make sure they deliver women governors, women senators, women MPs, women MCAs, all over, because we are committed to increase the number of women in leadership. Finally, Your Excellency, women are going to work tirelessly across this nation. Women are the ones who carry children in 9 months in their womb, and they deliver the 9th month. Women of this nation are expectant now, and their time to deliver has come. And the delivery date will be on 9th August 2022, when we deliver you, Your Excellency, at the State House of the Republic of Kenya. God bless.
Indeed, I can see that pregnancy. Honorable delegates, we are now moving to the next item, which is resolutions of the National Governing Council. We must make formal resolutions to the National Delegates Conference tomorrow. So the Secretary General, I'm sure, okay. The SG has just requested me to give him 2 minutes to read the resolution, but we can take advantage of that time and request our senior here, our senior in Parliament, someone who has fought for the liberation of this country, and no, I don't want to say the other one, Senator James Agrio Orengo, who is the minority leader in the Senate, to say a word. You are saying what I didn't want to say, but karibu.
Asante sana, Your Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, the deputy party leaders, delegations constituting this National Governing Council, ODM, sijasikia, ODM, ODM. I think, without a doubt, the presidency of Raila Amolo Odinga was inevitable, and it is coming to pass. And this time, I pray that we send the message across the land so that when you go for elections on the 9th of August 2022, and I think as His Excellency Joho alluded, that the results of these elections will be finalized not on the 10th, but on the 9th of August 2022. So I pray to the delegates to this NGC that we go around the land and make sure that we have the highest turnouts to ensure that Baba Raila Amolo Odinga is elected in round one. There will be no 2 rounds, that there should be only 1 round, and that evening we will know the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. I want to finalize by saying this. The victory of Raila Amolo Odinga, and I can say this without fear of contradiction, that the victory of Raila Amolo Odinga as the President of the Republic of Kenya will not be a celebration for Kenya alone. It will be a celebration for Africa and the world. And I can assure you, Africa and the world has invested in the presidency of Raila Amolo Odinga, because Raila Amolo Odinga will be a peacemaker in the continent. The type of leadership that we had during Mwalimu Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, I think Africa, for the first time in many years, is going to have a president that fits the category of leaders that we have had, Mandela, and as Muradi was saying, this is the Mandela moment, that Africa will have a giant, that Kenya has produced a giant, and a giant not for Africa, but a giant for the world. And I hope that with the election of Raila Amolo Odinga, Kenya will be at peace, Kenya will be prosperous, and Kenya will never look back again. We'll be at peace with ourselves, with our ancestors, and with the future generations to come. ODM, tuko tayari. ODM. Asanteni sana.
Now I want to invite the Secretary General to read the resolutions of the National Governing Council. Thank you.
Your Excellency, delegates, once again it is my distinct honor to read to you the resolutions of this NGC. The National Governing Council, meeting at Bomas of Kenya on this Friday, 25th February 2022, has resolved as follows. Number 1, the report of the National Executive Committee proposing amendments to the party constitution and election and nomination rules be adopted with the one amendment as proposed by Honorable Senator Amos Wako. Number 2, that the vacant positions in the National Executive Committee be filled through the harmonization process we have just conducted, as recommended by the National Executive Committee as follows. Senator Jonas Mwashushe Mwaruma, Senator for Taita Taveta, is now the Deputy National Vice Chairperson. Ahmed Abdisalan Ibrahim, National Organizing Secretary. Richard Ken Chonga, Deputy Organizing Secretary. The Honorable Zuleha Juma Hassan, Deputy Organizing Secretary. Stella Chepkurui, Secretary for Environment, and the Honorable Paul Ongili Babu Owino, Secretary for Science and Technology. Number 3, that in light of the challenges brought about by the COVID pandemic, this NGC recommends that the National Delegates Convention defer the elections of the party's national officials to sometime in 2023. Number 5, that the Orange Democratic Movement Party formally joins the Azimio La Umoja Coalition/Coalition Party. And lastly, that having received the withdrawal notices from the 2 applicants for the nomination of presidential candidates, namely His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya and His Excellency Ali Hassan Joho, the National Governing Council resolves to propose to the National Delegates Convention the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga as the ODM party nominee for president under the Azimio la Umoja coalition or coalition party. Mr. Chairman, those are the resolutions of this NGC. I thank you very much.
I thank you. And honorable members, if you listen to those resolutions, we had taken a vote on each and every resolution. And I think the rules dictate that you don't subject the same thing to vote twice, because what if it is negated now? Which one do we take? So I think we just note the resolution for the SG to now communicate them publicly. All of these resolutions had been voted on. I want to repeat. Thank you very much. Are we in agreement? Are we in agreement? Asanteni sana. As we come almost to a close, and I think this is my last time to stand here, I want to now formally move to the next level. I will invite one of our two deputy party leaders who will make quick remarks. After that, he will invite the other deputy party leader, who will now invite the party leader to make remarks. I will now not stand again. So could I take this opportunity to invite the Honorable Ali Hassan Joho. Karibu.
Maisha ni yangu, wewe shughulika na yako, napendeza kwangu.
Asante ndugu mwenyekiti, Your Excellency, my party leader and the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Allow me first of all, on my own behalf and that of the people of Mombasa, to say congratulations for your nomination to carry the flag of ODM into Azimio. Your Excellency, it may be seen, mtu anaweza kuona ni kitu rahisi sana. Lakini mimi nataka niseme, urais wako wa Kenya una maana kubwa sana kwetu sisi. Nataka niseme, ukitaka kuona Kenya yenye usawa, Kenya yenye uhaki, Kenya that has a level playing field for all of us, immaterial from where we come from, then iko mikononi kwa Raila Odinga. There are others who are imagining they can be president. But why we depart from that school of thought with them is because we know what you mean for us and what you mean for the country. Your Excellency, many people have struggled over the period. Watu wamesota kiasi cha kwamba tunataka tupate rais ambaye atabadilisha mienendo kabambe and allow opportunities for every region, every tribe, every race, every religion to be fairly represented in government. And most importantly, Your Excellency, you have allowed me space and opportunity to grow politically. I know where I have started my journey. And you've held my hand over the period. Paka leo. That is why we can comfortably say we still have the future. Bado tuko na siku za usoni. Wengine wetu bado tutakuwa na nafasi siku za usoni. But for us to be able to achieve all that we aspire to do, we must today, and vehemently so, come out in support of Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, here elections for some of us is very personal, and I'm sure it is the same with you, because nchi yetu iko katika mikono ya hatari. Either tujitolee mhanga, tuokoe taifa letu, ndio tuwe na taifa bora siku za usoni, ama tufanye makosa, tupoteze ama tufanye makosa ambayo hawezi kurekebishika kwa muda mrefu. So I want to urge all of us, tafadhalini, tusichukulie hii kura inayokuja ni kama ya Raila Amolo Odinga peke yake. Tusichukulie nyepesi. Kama una mapenzi hata machache kiasi gani ya taifa lako, kama una hope ya taifa lako, kama unataka taifa yenye mwelekeo, taifa ambayo itaheshimika, then you must come out kwa njia yoyote to ensure you campaign, you fight and stand with Raila Amolo Odinga. Tumelewana paka hapo? Are we working together? Tutatembea pamoja. Na sisi tumesikia mambo mengi ambaye baba amefanya. We know about mega promises he gave to Kenyans. It is Baba that engineered free primary education in 2002. And he kept his word. It is Baba that spoke of the new constitutional order. Today all of us are enjoying it. It is his sacrifice. Baba created devolution for us. That is why we call but a whole government that is running to develop people in our mashinani. So imagine Baba hasn't sat in that real seat of power and he's achieved all that we're enjoying today. Now imagine when he sits in the office of the president, as the president of the Republic of Kenya, how our lives will be transformed. Can we imagine that? Can we imagine that? Silvio, so do I have your word that from here, going forward, tutajitolea kwa hali na mali, mhanga, kwa jua, kwa mvua, kwa dhiki, kwa raha, ili Raila Amolo Odinga awe rais wetu wa 5. Tumekubaliana. Nionesheni kwa mkono, mimi nataka kuhesabu watu. Awe Junet, umenua sana wewe, onekana wewe. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite my colleague Wycliffe, His Excellency Wycliffe Oparanya aseme machache, then to invite you. Thank you very much.
ODM. Naona mko tayari. Najua nyinyi mnataka msikize baba. Takuwa brief kabisa. Kwanza nataka nimshukuru nyinyi wote kwa kuwa viongozi wema katika mashinani. Tulianzisha hiki chama mwaka wa 2005. Na hii ndio chama pekee ambayo kimeendelea kupata nguvu kuanzia wakati huo mpaka sasa. Na hiyo imetokana na uongozi wa kiongozi wetu Raila Amolo Odinga na nyinyi, kwa sababu nyinyi mkiwa mashinani, nyinyi ndio mnaweka nguvu katika hii chama. Vile vyama vilianza wakati huo, vingine vimefifia kabisa, lakini ODM inaendelea mbele. Leo ndio mpira imeanza. Tunataka kila mtu acheze hiyo mpira kulingana na kiango chake, according to your level. Ukiwa mashinani pale, wewe cheza mpira na ujue hiyo mpira tunaingiza wapi. This is the obvious opportunity we have got since we formed this party. We know what happened previously, but the opportunity ambao tumepata support from areas that we thought we could not get support, this time we are getting support from our brothers that we never used to be together. So this is an obvious opportunity. Tukicheza vizuri, hiyo mpira tutaingiza tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. ili Raila awe rais wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Lakini tuna challenges kama chama. Tumeongea kwa wingi kwa mambo ya nomination. And I request you, Madam Catherine Muma, please make sure every member of this party who wants to contest on any seat is given a fair nomination. Hii ndio itajenga chama chetu tuendelee mbele. Na nyinyi as leaders, you should also be fair to others. Otherwise, wengine wanashindwa, wanaona it was not fair, wanakimbilia, wanaenda kwa chama kingine. Mimi nimekuwa karibu na Raila Amolo Odinga tangu niingie bunge mwaka wa 2002. Na kutoka wakati huo nimekuwa karibu na yeye, ninajua yale anaweza kufanya katika nchi yetu. Sisi miaka hii yote tumelia. Nyinyi mmekuwa viongozi lakini bado tunalia. So the most important seat now we are looking for is the presidency. This is the most important. Wacha sisi wote tukufie hapo. Wewe even if you lose yours, maisha itakuwa ile vile vile tu, lakini Raila kama anapata yake, mambo itakuwa tofauti katika nchi yetu. Kwa hivyo I want all of you to stand up so that we welcome our 5th president, Raila Amolo Odinga.
Haya, tumepelisha kofia. Haya, tunasema inawezekana, si ndio? Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Twende. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Twende tena. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Asanteni sana.
Haya. ODM. Time. When it was not possible for us to meet, to be able to discuss issues affecting our country and how to organize our party. But now things are opening up, and we're able now to have an NGC and an NDC. I therefore want to thank all the people who have stood with us during this period of time. Let me first thank also those who have done what they have done over the past 4 years, pushing many other things, including the Building Bridges initiative, adopting the Azimio Umoja, and taking lead in building alliances with other parties that has led to the coming together of a number of parties to work together under the Azimio la Umoja movement. But I also want to thank our members of parliament who have stood very firm during this period of time. They have done a wonderful work in parliament to get things going in parliament. I also thank our other members of the county assemblies all over the country for what they have done during this period of time. As you know, we are in a transition period following the handshake, and I have an occasion to talk to you about the handshake and why it came about.
You've seen some allegations that, oh, there's opposition in government and government in opposition. Nothing could be further from the truth. What our members of parliament have done is done all over the world. In the UK, it is called Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition, meaning that the opposition is there to call the government on check, but you don't just criticize for the sake of criticizing. You criticize constructively by offering solutions to the problem. And this is what our members of parliament have been doing. So they have continued to point out things which are not right, at the same time supporting things which are right, also making concrete proposals as to how things should be done. So therefore I feel very proud with the performance of our members of parliament. We want to show that we as a party are a party that is organized, that has got a clear ideology, how we want this country to move forward, going forward. I know that it has not been easy all over the place. We have also had problems with the county governments. Our governors know they have not been able to have adequate resources to be able to perform the tasks that the people expect of them. But as you know, we brought the BBI. BBI was meant to help us to improve governance at the county level. It was opposed by opportunists for opportunistic reasons. And that's why we said reggae is on half time, reggae will come back again. We are now preparing to go to the elections. I must first thank you people today for nominating me as your candidate. I initially was very reluctant, as you know. So I said, before I do anything else, I will first travel the length and the breadth of the country and ask the people of Kenya, Baba endelee siendelee? Baba endelee siendelee? That was the answer. And that is why on the 10th of December, I actually responded to the request of the people of Kenya. We are going to work together with the other partners. At this stage, I want to pay tribute to my brother and colleague, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. As you know, we were on opposite sides in the elections. And we all know what happened. The crisis that followed the repeat presidential elections, when we took hard stands, and there were people on the streets, and we had people dying, we had people wounded in hospitals. The expenses were high. But we said we would continue. And we had also boycotts of certain products. And our supporters responded effectively. So there was a crisis. People had drawn maps of Kenya, the People's Republic of Kenya, and the Republic of Kenya. Let us now move on, print our currency, and start to run our country. Under those circumstances, we came together and we had very, very extensive discussions, journey down the memory lane. As a result of that, we agreed with my brother Uhuru Kenyatta that Kenya is bigger than all of us. And therefore, we must come together to bring the people of Kenya together. On that basis, we prepared a memorandum of understanding and shook hands, the handshake. And we said we will work together in this to bring the country together. And Uhuru has never deviated from what we agreed. Some people went there and said, oh, Uhuru is cheating you, he will abandon you. I told them, I know he will not. I was certain because we had had a very deep conversation. And we agreed that this country needed to be moved to where the ancestors wanted it to be. That is captured in our national anthem. A land where plenty is found within its borders. That is what has eluded us. And in the process of in the course of this, in spite of obstacles that he has experienced within his government, he has tried to steer the country to that direction. Now we said, when we take over, we will continue the work that he has started and move on, and that this bond will not die with the elections. Elections is just going to strengthen it, and we will work together going forward. So it is change and continuity. We will continue with this project which Uhuru has started in this government, and we will work together just as a team. That's why this time around we are coming together. We are bringing the ODM together with Jubilee to form the Azimio la Umoja. And we are inviting other parties to join Azimio la Umoja. So today you have just nominated me as an ODM candidate for the Azimio la Umoja. Other parties don't want to join are also free to nominate their candidates for Azimio la Umoja. Then we are going to have the mother of them all. They will bring our people, they will bring their people, and then we will then eventually now come out with a candidate for Azimio la Umoja. That is how it has been agreed. So tomorrow we are going to have our National Delegates Convention. Jubilee will have its National Delegates Convention also tomorrow. We will attend both of them. And eventually we will make resolutions which will finally be taken to the other meeting which we will have, which will now be the culmination of the Azimio la Umoja movement. And from there onwards, we will move now together. We will set up structures up to the grassroots so that we are able to capture the seats down there. We want to see that Azimio la Umoja will get the majority of members of county assembly, majority of members of National Assembly, majority of senators, majority of governors in this country, so that Azimio la Umoja can show the people the way. This is the way, this is how the founding fathers wanted it, this is how we want it to be as ODM. So I want to thank you people for standing firm the way you have stood firm. You have made not only me, but the entire country proud. So as we move on, I want to thank all of you once again. As we go back, carry the message that the journey has started. The journey has started. I've been telling people that this country needs another revolution. The first liberation brought the national independence. The second liberation gave us a new democratic constitution. The third and final liberation is economic liberation of our country. And this is what we want to spearhead, so that we empower our people,
so that we were able to deal with the three major enemies of our people: ignorance, poverty, and disease. And we've said, in terms of ignorance, all the children in our country, irrespective of the socio-economic status of their parents, will get equal opportunity from nursery to primary to secondary, up to tertiary, up to university. And we also said that all our people who have in the past been unable to access Medicare, there's going to be Baba Care. Baba Care. Baba Care. Baba Care. Baba Care will bring all our people into a health insurance scheme so that they can be able to access treatment whenever they are sick, even if they don't have money. We have also said we will support our youth to get proper employment. Our youth will be employed meaningfully so that they can be able to improve their socio-economic status. And they're not just going to be given wheelbarrows. You've said also that those who want to do businesses will be given access to credit from a pool of a fund, and they don't have to repay interest until after 7 years. Then we have said all those mamas, the single parents, where the father and they're also the mothers, will get special support from the government. We've also said that the poor of the poor, who do not have anything, we are going to introduce a social protection program in the country, so that those families will get from the government every month 6,000 shillings. I know people are criticizing it, or handouts and so on. I'm saying it is not handout. It is actually responding to the social needs of our people. Inawezekana. Inawezekana. So we are going to change things. We will invest massively in infrastructure development. We will invest in manufacturing, industries, each county, each product. Eventually we go to each sub-county, each product, so that our people can get jobs down there as we do value addition to raw materials that we have at that level. We mean to bring proper transformation in our country. This is what we will do. And that is what ODM is going to bring to the Azimio la Umoja. Tuko hapa na Kangumu, Fred Gumu yuko hapo. Wapapi I'm reminded. Then niko hapa na Mpuru Aburi. That is the leader of a party called Mpehu. Ati yeye alikuwa mwanachungwa akatoroka. Welcome, karibuni sana. So I don't want to continue beyond this point. Tomorrow we are going to be at the Kasarani, and we are going eventually to have a joint meeting there at Kasarani. I want to thank you all for attending and for nominating me as your candidate. Thank you.
Asante. Wakati huo niombe sote tusimame wima kwa wimbo wa taifa utakaoashiria mwisho wa hafla yetu ya siku ya leo, na kwa heshima ya taifa ni kuombe uvue kofia yako ili tumalize rasmi kama tulivyoanza. Wimbo wa taifa. Tusalie tumeketi tunapomruhusu kinara wetu kuondoka. Tusalie watulivu katika viti vyetu huku tukielekezwa na nyote. Niwakumbushe kwamba katibu ameandaa chakula cha mchana, mtaelekezwa na maafisa wetu wa itifaki sehemu ya chakula hiyo. Asante.